Can I ask, like, what was when you first came to Germany?
Mm-hmm.
What was it like? What were you thinking? The first like crazy stare that you got.
Damn, I think the first crazy stare.
The fact that you don't even have to be like, what do you mean? It's like, because I know people are like, what? People stare. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I think I don't remember, but maybe the things that came to mind was just like, yo, who this person looking? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Like, because either looking, I think it depends on who, right? Because like, you know, I grew up in a neighborhood that's, you know, rough. So I'm just naturally sizing up people, or I'm used to people sizing me up. So when people look at me, it's kind of like, oh, what are you trying to?
Yeah.
What kind of time he on? Like, you know what I mean? So if it's like a big dude staring at me, I'm kind of like, yo, what's up? Like, yo, who you looking at? Like, yo, you think, you know what I mean? And if I'm looking away and you still looking at me, now I'm kind of positioning my body like
your body language, your whole body language shift a little bit.
Yeah, or a group. I said like more than two. They looking at me. I'm kind of like, yo, what you trying to do? Like, you trying to set somebody up? Like, what's up? Or like, you know, sometimes it might be like an older lady looking at me. I'm like, you know, I start looking around like, yo, I'm out the only black person here? Like, why they looking at me? You know? So like, it would always be on the defense. Like, yo, why you? What's going on? And then when I heard about the German stare, that's when I was like, I mean, even still, I ain't gonna lie to you. My subconscious, my body still be like, you know, somebody be looking at me for a while, or I catch their eye looking at me. Kind of like, all right, I'm looking down, but my eye, on the top of my eye, I'm still looking at you. Yeah. How about you?
It's different for me. It was like more so. So when I first moved here, like I said, it was during the pandemic, and the place I moved to, virtually no black people. I think I saw like one or two other black people for 3 years in the neighborhood. Because, you know, village, like there's major cities, or even like, you know, smaller cities, and then outside of it there's like villages. And the village that I was in, it was nice, super quiet.
Yeah.
A lot of like middle-aged older white people. And I remember going to like the grocery store and just kind of walking around, and it felt like I was in a mix between like House of Wax and Get Out. Like, you know, when they brought that black dude out and they were having the auction, a little day party, and everyone was kind of just like looking at it like this. I was like, bro, my skin was itching. I was like, bro, am I like, what's going on? Like, are they gonna drug me or something like that? I was like, bro, what is happening? Because it's like, and it's not even just like, oh, I'm looking at you. It's like kind of like for me, it's the head turn one.
Yeah.
Like if you staring at me and I'm from point A and you watch me all the way from point B to around the corner, and then I walk around the corner and I can still see you looking for me, it's like, this is uncomfortable.
They did that even around the corner, like still
around the corner, bro. I'm talking about, I was arguably the only black person in like the village,
bro.
I saw like one or two.
Nigga, I would have been like, yo, they trying to get me, yo. Yo, they came around the corner at a supermarket trying to look at you. God, bro, that is different.
At a Reeve.
Bro, and that's the uppity type of grocery store, bro. What? That's not a German nigga. That's a German follow.
Yeah, man.
They that's a German lurking.
So it's like, I don't know. I got more used to it over time, but also I think it's just like sometimes I can tell almost immediately it's more of a natural curiosity. Whereas opposed to when I first got here, I was like, is it like hate? Is it like anger? Which can be the case sometimes. I'll be real with you. It can be less like like what you doing here in our space environment.
It used to be this way. Now it's
then there goes the neighborhood. Right. So, but it's gotten some taking used to. I don't really trip on it unless it's like really weird or egregious, like a super long time. Because people stare at people all the time. I think it's like a natural inclination to just be curious about something, or just be daydreaming. Sometimes people ain't even really looking at you like that. They just thinking about something. Yeah. And you happen to be in their line of sight. But I think for me, it's like when you can't be slick about it. Because like people look at people. Sometimes, you know, you can look and then look somewhere else. It's like, if you looking at me for a solid minute and not breaking eye contact, I'm gonna be worried. Because now I'm curious about what it is that you're thinking about. It's not even so much what you're staring. It's like, what is about me that has you so infatuated?
Yeah. It took a while. I mean, shout out to social media. I'll talk about it, and some people will like voice out why maybe. It's like they literally don't know what they're doing is of not offense, but it's taken out of a different context than what they think. So a German person staring. So like they'd be like, hey, sometimes I'm just spacing out. Because, you know, one thing I noticed here in Germany, especially when you take the U-Bahns and stuff, not as many people be on their phones as much sometimes. Sometimes they're just sitting down and just looking.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I mean, eventually you will look at somebody. You know, you look weirder just looking at an advert at the ceiling than to look at eventually somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I guess maybe this is better than me scrolling on TikTok for an hour watching some dumb stuff. At least I can look at somebody and be like, okay. I didn't know people can wear that type of jacket. All right. Wow, I didn't know. I didn't know that jacket pairs with this type of sneakers. Huh? I learned something about fashion today.
Yeah. My new fun thing since being here in Germany, especially with the staring coach, is like now I just like to come up with stories about people. Not true at all. You know what I mean? Like I'll be looking at somebody and I'll see him do something, something weird. And I just come up with an entire backstory in my head. Cause that passed the time for me. You got a long train ride.
Yeah.
It's just like I done had this whole story. They got wife and kids. I don't even know. You know what I mean? I just don't care what he abusive. I don't know. Sometimes it depends on how angry or aggressive they are. Sometimes I don't know.
Oh,
and then it passed the time for me. And then I get up and I'm like, oh man, that was. I can see why people stare.
Bro, oh my God. You know what?
Fun game.
It's a fun ass.
Mm-hmm.
So how about if some of the German people that are staring, they actually probably doing the same thing?
But that's what I'm worried about.
Oh, because
now we throwing the blackness element because now it's like, what am I in your imagination?
Oh, that's a good. Ooh,
because that's what I want to know. It's not so much that you're doing it because I'm doing it too. But I'm trying to figure out in your scenario, like, what is it that you have me doing?
Wow. So little Tyrone, baby,
little Tyrone here, came from Africa, has no family and famine, and he's just trying to.
He came here on a raft,
man,
where he made it to the UK, but the wind swept him away to the shores of Spain or something. That's a good fucking
man.
Yo, the German stare. So for us it's like, all right, well, we're not gonna it's gonna be balanced a bit.
Yeah,
but for a German white person, I'm like, little Tyrone,
right?
I wonder how he got his hair like that. It must be because of some of the other inhabitants in other cities here in Germany.
Yeah,
you'd be like, what?
Like, what's going on, man?
Of course, Tyrone loves his chicken. What? I'm vegan. Hold on, wait.
You know what I really hate about that stereotype about chicken?
What?